Hey there, Guardians, JVIT here. Welcome back to another video inside of Destiny 2 Lightfall, and in today's video we are going to be going over the official guide for the raid Root of Nightmares in Destiny 2, of course. Before we get into today's video, it would be greatly appreciated if you guys can go down in the channel and, of course, subscribe if you are new. Feel free to join our community Discord down in the description below, and our social medias will be in the description below too, But without further ado, let's actually get right into today's Root of Nightmares. Let's not waste any time. But first, it's best recommended that you guys especially defeat the Lightfall campaign. So that means defeating Callus, getting Strand. Also, it's recommended that you have a lot of rally banners with you. So just go to Hawthorne and pick those up, or you can get some from your season pass. That would also work too, but you're still going to want a lot of upgrade modules too for any armor that you get that could be higher than your current armor and weapons. And yeah, mainly just I'll be going over every single encounter on what to run, subclasses, everything. So bear with me. We're going to get right into this video, not waste any more time. But anyways, let's get right into the Root of Nightmares raid guide in Destiny 2 Lightfall. Let's begin. Alright, so you will load into the raid, of course, and you will be greeted by this, I guess you could say this is a terraformed pyramid ship, which is actually the Witness's pyramid ship, and it's surprisingly pretty big compared to our last pyramid ship raid we had back in Witch Queen, Valve the Disciple, and by the looks of it, the environment, like the architecture of it, just the way they made this is absolutely beautiful. I am getting similar thoughts to the Garden of Salvation raid. If you take that, King's Fall and Vow combined, then you get this, which is really, really cool. I really do like the whole, like, thorn kind of, like, roots coming into the pyramid ship. Very, very nice indeed. And yeah, this is just a really successful raid that Bungie has made, and we're going to go over on all four of the encounters, the chest locations, and some other extras to go over. So once you load in, you're going to make your way over here. If you look to the left, right by this giant branch, you'll actually see 3 orbs. This is actually for the red chest. I'll actually have a video on the location of all these locations in my next video. But this is for the red chest if you guys want to get a free red border every week. So, yeah, it's going to be I'm pretty sure it's per account. So you have to do it per week on per account. So, and once you make it over here, you'll see this Nezarec statue. This is important because there's actually a little bowl right near it. You can actually pick up. This will actually give you a lore collectible. I just went right past it, but if you were to go back to it, there's going to be a lore collectible on the ground that you can grab right by this statue. As you can see, that little blue glowing right there. Once you do that, that'll actually start the triumph for the lore collectibles. You mainly just want to get chests. You want to get the chests, and you can get some from completing encounters as well. I really do like how they made another pyramid ship raid. I honestly thought the raid was going to take place inside the city itself of Neomuna, not just in a whole different area that's not. It would make sense though, because telling by the Traveler cutscene we've had, that's definitely going to be the raid. So if we come into this room right here, we're actually heading towards the first encounter. You want to turn to your left. There'll be this giant branch to jump on. If you actually come down here, this is actually the location of one of the little little balls for the red chest. So that's one of the locations right underneath those branches. And you'll hear some Nezarec dialogue, which honestly is a pretty cool raid boss. We'll go over that. I'm not going to spoil too much for Nezarec, but as you can see in the back, you also have the Tree of Silver Wings, which is another nice concept of this raid. As we make it over here, we are on our first encounter. As you can see, there is a lot of stuff going on. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, all 4 of these encounters are extremely easy. So let's go over on how this encounter works. So there's 2 different positions. You got the runner, which you can only have 1. You can technically have, if you want 2 guys, you can, but you only need 1. What's going to happen is when the encounter starts, you'll actually be greeted by this white-looking orb, somewhat like the Traveler almost. And the other team are going to be killing ads and worrying about tormentors, which are the giant Rolk dudes you kill in this mission. And I'll explain why. So make sure you rally up, and any ad clearing weapon would do really good for this. So Galahorn, the new machine gun, anything. And you can use any subclass for this. Doesn't matter. So as you can see, I started the encounter. What I'm going to be doing is, if you look at the white orb, it'll actually, once you shoot it, of course, you'll get this buff called Field of Light, which will make it so you actually get a buff. You're able to shoot the seeds, because as you can see, as when you look at the orb, it'll be pointing to the direction you need to go. That white line coming out will actually point to your destination, where you need to go. You need to hop from bubble to bubble to grab the Field of Light, so you can actually get keep kind of like what's the word? Yeah, it's hard to explain, but yeah. So you just want to shoot the white ball, and wherever direction it's going, you want to go to that next ball and shoot it, so it'll activate the next one, and it'll point to the next one and the next one, and then eventually you'll end up at a giant flower. And once you shoot that final one, you'll get a message saying his hatred halts, meaning that the white mechanic has actually stopped, and you are free to kill ads for about, I would say, like 10 seconds or 15, depending on how long it lasts. But what's going to happen is you're going to repeat the same exact thing 3 more times. There's actually 4 seeds you actually want to do. 4 groups of seeds to complete each encounter. The flower will be your destination. If you hit the flower, his hatred will halt, and if you do it 4 times, the encounter is over. While that's happening, though, you also have your ads to worry about. This is if you're doing the other team, and you have the tormentors. The tormentors will only spawn until an adherent of torment has appeared, as you can see on the bottom left screen right above my super. It said an adherent has spawned. I mean, there'll be 2 scions with bubbles. Kill them as fast as you can, because you only have a limited amount of time to kill them before the white mechanic goes off and everyone wipes. And what's going to happen next is a tormentor will spawn either on left or right. If the tormentor spawns on left, then the champion will spawn on the opposite side where the tormentor is at. So if the tormentor is on right, the champion will be on the left side. Now you can use anything to take out these tormentors. Make sure you have anti-barrier rounds on too. So like the new sidearm, you can use a sidearm, or I'm pretty sure it's a pulse rifle. Yeah, it's a pulse rifle too. So you can also run that for that. And you're just going to keep repeating the process. You're going to grab the Field of Light, making it so it'll show you the destination on where to go. You'll actually see where to go, because it'll be like a little ball, a little small gray ball, as you can see. Because if there's an arrow coming out of the Traveler, it's pointing to your destination on where you need to go. You need to hop from basically bubble to bubble until you get to the final flower, and that'll halt his hatred for a while. And that'll get rid of the white mechanic. And yeah, there's not too much to say about this encounter. There is a challenge where you have to kill these scions within 1 second of each other, or else you will fail the encounter challenge, which you just gotta do at the same time, so it's not that hard. Honestly, there's nothing really too much to say about this encounter. You can run whatever you want. It's best recommended if you obviously run anti-barrier, and maybe void resist, because of the tormentors could actually work, or concussive I think it's concussive, where you'll take less damage from the Centurion's blasts, which there are a few Centurions. And on day 1, they hurt pretty bad, so you want to make sure you're running the right stuff to actually get this encounter done. Just remember, when you see this, also one more thing to know is you can only shoot the next like little circle, when it's like a little seed, until you have to have the aura around the seed to shoot the next one, basically. So hopefully that doesn't confuse you too much, but that's going to be it for mainly for the first encounter. Not too much to say. Runner is just going to be going through the seeds while the ads are killing the... Also, when you kill the tormentors, that'll actually delay the time. Forgot to mention that. That'll delay the time to make it so the white mechanic is much longer. So you'll have plenty of time to get this encounter done for each round. And overall, pretty easy encounter. Once you are done with the last final route, it's literally the exact same thing. Just remember this, all the starting routes or like the field of light balls are going to be in the back, like the way back where the first one was just at, and you want to move to your right, you'll see another one. There's just 4 of them in the back, and you'll see where they're going to be. But anyways, yeah, that's going to be it for the first encounter, guys. Not too much to say. It's overall pretty easy. It'll take a few tries to understand the mechanic, but mainly this encounter is mainly all about ad clearing. So yeah, let's go over the second encounter now.
Guardian down.
Alright, so once you get the final chest, you'll finally end up at the second encounter. Now, this encounter is very, very similar to, I'm going to say, the Caretaker encounter. You got the same 3 floors, except this is a different, totally new mechanic for this raid. Split your team into 2 groups of 3, and what's going to happen is you'll see the field of light on the right, and then you got a new one called Flux of Darkness, which is on the left side. This will be the exact same way for every single encounter. It's going to just switch off. So let's go over how this works. So basically what's going to happen when you start the encounter, you need to shoot either, let's say someone shoots the field of light or the flux of darkness, and what's going to happen is you're going to be doing the exact same thing you did from first encounter. However, there's a certain pattern you want to do. Now there's 2 strategies you can do this, but today in this video we're going to go over the easiest strategy. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to hop on these jump plates, and you're going to need to go zigzag to shoot these seeds. So what you're going to need to do is when you start on darkness, you actually need to go zigzag to light side and shoot the first darkness bubble little seed, and then you go back to darkness and then keep rinsing, repeating. So it's basically a zigzag motion you're going. So you start at dark. So like, for example, this is the same thing for light side as well. So if you're on dark side, you grab the buff, go to right side, which is where the light area is with the field of light. Go over there, get the next seed, come back to dark, and then go to the aura and get the flux of darkness again. Shoot the flux of darkness at dark side, because there's going to be, it's a zigzag motion, like I said. And then grab that buff again, and then rinse and repeat and go back to light side, and then rinse and repeat by going zigzag. And then you go from light side to dark side, you get the buff from dark side, shoot the dark seed, and then you go back to light side and get the final dark one on the right side. And that'll actually, it's the same exact thing for light. So if it's for light side, you're going to be going from left to, you're going to go from right to left, right to left, right to left. You're gonna always make sure you grab the buff too. Once you shoot the final darkness and light, of course, it's what's gonna happen is it's called your ascent is blocked by interloopers, which makes it so that multiple ads are gonna stop you from making it up to the next level. What you need to do is you need to go into the either field of light or flux of darkness, depending on what side you're on, and you need to kill these ads with the correct buff. It's also recommended that if you pick up the buff and you still have it active, make sure nobody else picks it up, because if someone else picks it up, it's actually going to disrupt your process, meaning making it so you cannot shoot the seeds. So make sure you can actually solo okay, so to make things easier, you don't need to kill the ads until the very end. So you are perfectly fine soloing this encounter, soloing the running part until the very end, because you have to kill the ads with the shields on them. And then once after you shoot all the ads, you will go up to the next floor. So I'm on darkness. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Go to light side and shoot the darkness one over there. You see how it has a darkness line going through it. I'm going to go from darkness all the way back. I'm going to go from light side, which is where the darkness one was. Go back onto the booper plates. Now be very careful when you're on these. Make sure you're in the right position. Try to stay on the far left side of the one of the booper plate. Or else you'll most likely die if you're not careful. I'm going to go back to dark side, shoot this little seed right here. Also, forgot to mention, you only have a limited amount of time to do it. So it's actually best preferred that you guys are perfect on this encounter. So you cannot waste any time, not even a second. So you need to get going. You're going to shoot the crux again. There's going to be a few barrier champions in here too, so make sure you have barrier rounds on. This is going to be applicable for master difficulty. That's going to sometime come around April, which is going to be very, very horrendous. But you're going to come back. I'm going to get the darkness one. You guys see the whole pattern with the zigzag. You go from left to right, left to right, left to right. And then I got the last darkness one on left, and then the entire area glows. And then once light side is done on their side, as you can see, they're just about done. They're on. Well, I actually need to shoot the last darkness on right, and once I shoot the last darkness on right, that'll actually it'll send the interloopers again, which the shielded ads. In order to kill them, you need to step in either the flux of darkness or field of light, depending on what side you're on. So if you're on left, it's flux of darkness on this level, or if it's on right, it's going to be the field of light. So you're gonna kill those ads, and overall, guys, this encounter is very, very easy. It took me and my team a little while to figure out, but yeah, if you guys ever need help with any of this, I'm a raid sherpa. I can help you guys out. But once you go up to the next and final floor, you're gonna do the exact same thing, and once you go back, yeah, overall, this is a pretty easy encounter. I can give you guys some more examples really quick. As you can see, I'm going back to dark side. I'm going to get the last darkness, as I just showed you earlier. And to be honest, guys, you can honestly just wait to kill the ads. The only ads you should kill are the legionaries and the barriers, but keep the centurions alive until you get to the final bubble, because it'll say, when it says your ascend is blocked by interloopers, that's when you can grab the flux of darkness and the buff. That's actually the encounter triumph for this encounter. So basically, you cannot kill any of the attunement ads until each node is complete. After you complete all the nodes, you can grab the buff and shoot the ads to make yours, because the only way to get up to the next floor is you need to kill all the ads in the room. So yeah, that's going to be on how you guys complete the second encounter. Honestly, there's not too much to say. It's almost the exact same thing as the first encounter. You're just literally going in a zigzag motion, except you have another buff to deal with called Flux of Darkness and ad clearing. Recommendly, if you want to stay alive, bubble for Titan, and then for Warlock, you can run Phoenix Protocol with not Phoenix. You can run Phoenix Protocol if you want to get more orbs of light for your super, and you can also run Starfire Protocol for an additional fusion grenade, which fusion grenades are insanely good. And best recommendedly, if you're trying to stay alive, make sure you put heat rises, because if you hold down your grenade, you'll actually get a buff which will heal you. and will make you fly even higher. But you don't need the flying. You just want to mainly stay alive for the ad clearing, because I've been doing a lot of flawless runs, and this is where most of the flawless runs fail, is because we're not killing our ads. But overall, this is another easy ad clearing encounter. Like I said, guys, all the encounters in this raid are going to be very, very easy. As you can see, I'm going to get that right side darkness little orb, and then I'm going to come back to light. Just remember, zigzag pattern for each floor. That's going to be the main goal of this encounter, is zigzag. You're just going in a zigzag motion. That's it. Nothing else too much to say, guys. This is how you guys beat the second encounter. If you guys have any questions in the comment section below, just let me know, and we're going to move on to the jumping puzzle and then the third and fourth encounter. So, yeah, let me just continue the rest of the gameplay here for you guys, and I'll see you guys when we get to the jumping puzzle and third encounter. Sweet. I'm gonna mention one more thing for this jumping puzzle, guys. When you guys get in here, there's gonna be like a kind of like a white mechanic, but except this is not respawning restricted. Make sure you get field of light, because every time you get field of light and then you shoot the darkness crux, the little seed ball things, the darkness one, of course, you're gonna get darkness refuge, which it's gonna give you a 14-second timer to protect you against the white mechanic buff that'll happen. You'll see where it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen in the same place where the cataclysm encounter was at. So, yeah, it's just a little note just to tell you guys. This part will take you a little bit of time to get through, because it's a giant like maze kind of. Well, not a maze, but you can definitely get through it. But just letting you guys know, just to make sure you guys just shoot the field of light and then shoot the darkness flux of darkness right after, so you guys get your darkness refuge buff to keep you alive from the white mechanic. So yeah, I'll see you guys when we get to third encounter.
Guardian down. Guardian down. Guardian down.
As I've gathered, there was barely anything left of me for the witness to collect. Has anyone suffered from the pieces they took? I wonder if I could track them down. Do you happen to know who took them? Consider the information reparations for my untimely death.
Guardian down. down.
Light bearers have always seemed efficient at creating their own chaos. Your warlords did a masterful job of that. Do you enjoy hearing the final screams of your enemies? Screams are the most delicious when they're wrenched directly from the throat. An echo that reverberates through eternity. How beautiful.
Guardian down.
So once you guys have made it through that very long jumping puzzle, you guys are going to end up in this room called the Macrocosm, which is the first boss fight named the Explicator. So let's go over on how this encounter is going to work. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, and this is another encounter very, very similar to the Caretaker. And I'm going to go over on why and how to beat its mechanics, everything. So without further ado, this room is actually probably one of the coolest rooms in the game because this is the Witnesses ship from the Witch Queen cutscene. Isn't that freaking awesome? And as you guys can see, it looks confusing. There's like 6 planets on each side. Well, I'm going to show you guys on what you need to do. First off, for weapons, you mainly want to run Galahorn as an ad-clearing weapon if you're not doing a solo flawless run, but we'll go over that in a second. So I'm going to show you guys this map up on screen. You got top left L2, top right R2, bottom left L1, and bottom right R1. Here's how this is going to work. You see, there are going to be 3 planets on each plate, 6 on right, 6 on left. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be calling out on the plate that is the incorrect color from the left and the right. So left side, all of left side is going to be light side, all of right side is going to be dark side. So let's say, okay, so bottom left and bottom right close is going to be 1. And then out on bottom left and bottom right is going to be 2. And then bottom left, bottom right on far is going to be 3. This is the color we're going to be using in this video. Now, if we go to the top ones, the out on the top and top left and top right. Actually, no, not the out. The close is going to be 4 on top left and top right. Out is going to be 5. which is on top left and top right, and then far is going to be top left and top right. What you and your team need to do is you need to actually first, well, actually when the encounter starts, you're going to split your team into 2 groups of 3 on left, one of them is going to be doing ad clear on left, and then 3 on right, one of them is going to be doing ad clear on the right. There are going to be 2 Centurions that spawn. You're going to kill both of them, and what's going to happen, 4 giant Colossuses are going to spawn on either left, right, on all sides, left, right, middle, and left, right, well, top left, top right, bottom left, and bottom right. Once you kill them, you're going to get this thing called Planetary Shift, which you're going to be looking at your planet callouts. So let me give you guys an example on how that works in-game. So when the encounter starts, you're going to get on your plate. As you can see, I am using Gjallarhorn for boss damage and for clearing ads, you can say. I will say this, the planetary area is also pretty easy to figure out too after a few runs. So let me show you guys on how that works. So as you can see, there are going to be some Centurions coming down on the left and right. Once you kill the Centurions, 4 Colossuses will spawn after you kill both of them. And once you kill them, it's going to actually start the whole cycle for the planets. So what you're going to do is look at your planets, and if one of the 3 are incorrect, see how I had 2 light side ones and 1 darkness, because light side is left, darkness is right. I need to get rid of darkness, and this darkness one right here is 6. 6 is the far on the top left and top right. So if mine is 6, and let's say Lord Death calls out 5 or 6, okay, if it's 5, I'm gonna be dunking on that orange one, like I showed you guys. I'm gonna be dunking on the orange one. This one is 5. This one is the one that's out. The ones that are near the wall are gonna be 5. The ones that are closest to 3 is gonna be 4. So 4 is gonna be always starting on the top left and top right. You guys will see where 4 is. Kind of do it like a zigzag pattern, kind of. And once that happens, once you guys put in the correct codes, it'll actually index the planets, which means you're going to repeat the whole entire process again. And overall, this is also another pretty easy encounter. You're going to be killing the Centurions again. And once that happens, 4 Colossuses will spawn again. This time, you're going to be using them for the planets in the middle, because this is going to be referring on which side of damage you're going to be starting on, either left, middle, or right, for the 3 little damage plays. And I'll show you guys what I'm talking about when we get over there. So as you can see, I just died from that Centurion because they hit pretty hard on contest mode, surprisingly. Well, not surprising because this is contest mode. Once you kill it, of course, you're going to be, all the planets are going to move to the middle. As you can see, someone is going to dunk the correct planet on either left, middle, or right plate. The 3 little plates that are in the middle, left, and right. If it's the left, if left is light, then you need to grab a light plate from the left side. If it's dark, it's going to be, if it's dark on the right and middle, then you're going to need to grab the dark one from the right side, because dark side is right and light side is left. And once that happens, you need to once you dunk all 3 of them, this is where damage will start. You actually need to shoot the crux to actually align all the plates, and you're going to be doing as much damage as you can until the Explicator says it shifts his focus. You'll actually switch to a different plate, and you're going to dump as much damage as you can. So that means Gjallarhorn, Phoenix Protocol, all that good stuff. And once that happens, he's going to do his little final stand. There's a few more things to go over in this encounter. Number 1, if you take too long doing the planets, it'll actually move the planets in the middle, and it'll actually wipe the encounter because they'll glow, which you do not want to happen. Let's keep going over on more of this really quick, just in case I missed anything. But what's going to happen is, just remember this. So what's going to happen is, whenever you're on a plate, you're going to be doing the planets. So once someone on the right, so if you're doing top left and top right, you're only worrying about 4, 5, and 6. If you're doing bottom left, bottom right, you're going to be worrying about 1, 2, 3, as I showed you on that map before. And what you do is, when someone calls out, let's say it's 5, and you have 5 as well. So you're going to grab your 5, you're going to grab the little like shade underneath the planet. I'll show you guys. It's like a shadow ball underneath it. You're going to basically be running. So as you can see, there's like a white shadow ball underneath that one. I'm going to grab mine underneath this planet right here, because mine was 6 and the other guy on the right was 5. You're only going to be calling out 4, 5, or 6 if you're top. And then for bottom, it's 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to grab my 6, and I'm going to dunk it over on the opposite side of the guy who needs their buff. So, and the guy had 5, and he's gonna be dunk. And let's say death, he's gonna be dunking on my 6. So he's gonna take his 5 and dunk it on my 6. I'm gonna take my 6 and dunk it on his 5. So then we get the correct planets. Everyone should have the correct planet. So all right should be dark, all left should be light. But it's gonna be, there's going to be 2 incorrect ones on left and 2 incorrect ones on right. So yeah, and once that the indexed planets reveal themselves, that means you got it correct. But you cannot waste time, because you only have a limited amount of time to complete this before the white mechanic starts. And like I said, I forgot to mention, well, I already mentioned it, but I'll make it simpler. Once you kill all the Centurions and Colossuses, of course, what's going to happen is you're going to get the... there's going to be 3 plates in the middle. This is for the damage plates. You're going to be doing damage on left, middle, and right. And you need to dunk the correct color, light or dark, on that plate. So if left is dark, then you need to go on right side and dunk on the left plate, since you'll know what it is, because if you look above the plate, it'll be dark, and then middle will be, let's say it's light, okay? And then you're going to grab on the left side and grab the light one, bank in the middle, and then let's say right side is dark as well. Or no, light side, let's say right side is light, you're going to dunk on there. Now, depending on which one has more, you're going to be starting on that side. So let's say if there's 3 dark and 2 light, you're going to be starting from right to left. Right to left. So you're going to be doing as much damage as you can on these plates. There is an enrage timer on this boss after the, I would say, second round is when enrage is near, and then after that you're done. You cannot do it again after the 3rd round, or else he'll wipe the entire encounter with the planet destruction. Also, another thing to mention is you want to be really careful also when you're doing damage here. Try not to move too much, because you could accidentally blow yourself up or have someone blow themselves up, because they could be standing right in front of you. And also, every time you do a plate, you need to make sure you get away from that plate, because the boss will be sending a giant fire tornado at you, kind of like the one he's doing right now. He'll move it towards, but this time, if you don't complete this final stand, then it's a white. But if you do, congratulations, guys. You have completed the Explicator boss fight. Another pretty easy encounter. All the encounters, like I said, are going to be very easy. The planets ones, you're just going to be running the correct planet for whatever it is. So let's say left side, top left is going to be, okay, 5. Okay, so I got dark, light. Light is, or no, well, no, sorry. Light, dark. Dark is 6. This is another example I'm using. I'm going to grab my 6, and the guy on the right has dark, light, and his light is 5. So I'm going to take my 6 and dunk it on his 5. He's going to dunk my his 5 and dunk it on my 6. So then we all have the correct planets. So a left side should all have light side, and then right side, same thing. And then bottom, same exact thing, 1, 2, 3. Guy's going to call out, okay, I have light, dark, and then right side's going to be, okay, I have light, dark. So the guy, let's say he has dark on, let's say the guy on the left has dark on 3, okay, 3. And the guy on right side, bottom right, is going to have, let's say he has the light side, he has light on 2. So if he has light on 2, he's going to be grabbing that 2 from the right side and bring it over to the left side, because left side is light side and dark side is right. So and then the guy does the exact same thing, grabs his whatever, and then dunks on the opposite side. Overall, pretty easy encounter, and we are very close to the final encounter. Let's actually go over on how the encounter works. So yeah, I'll see you guys when we get to Nezarec. You guys finally made it to the final encounter, Nezarec, the final god of pain. Split your team into 3 groups. You got one person running on the left, which is the light side, and right side, which is the darkness side. Let's go over on how this works. So when you can start the encounter, you want to, of course, get near the giant cocoon that Nezarec is hiding in, and this will actually start the encounter. For damage-wise, you don't need a bubble. You can just have a well. Phoenix Protocol with Gjallarhorn is like your best bet. If you're a Warlock, Hunter, run Night Stalker with Gjallarhorn to increase your damage with that. You don't necessarily need to run Divinity if you don't want to, but you can use it if you want. And then Titan, use whatever suits you. Like maybe a Hammer of Soul to get like Melting Point or whatever, if that does work on this boss. I'm not sure if it does. And yeah. Nezarec will appear out of his cocoon. He does have a final stand, of course. And what's going to happen is you're going to do the exact same running mechanic you've been doing from the first and second encounter. You're just going to be running bubble to bubble. And in case to get the field of light or the flux of darkness, you need to be in the one surrounded by an aura, or else you won't get the buff that'll help you shoot the little seeds to progress towards the final 2 flowers on the left and right to finish those sides. That'll actually start the damage phase for Nezarec. But there's a bit more going on for the ad clearing side. Not only are you going to be killing ads, but you're going to be watching Nezarec himself. Nezarec will give different players a debuff called Nezarec's Hatred. Will make it so that Nezarec will randomly shoot players flying out of the ground for some reason, and if it doesn't, and if he keeps doing it, then it could potentially kill you, because this is like a psionic blast, but you go even higher in the air, and you only have a limited amount of time to stop Nezarec before his white mechanic goes off, where he flies in the air and it'll explode. He also has those wings in the back, and you guys are probably wondering on what those are for. Well, if you guys remember the Light Refuge and the Darkness Refuge, then the Ad Clearers are going to be calling out once they... And by the way, to get rid of the darkness, to get rid of the Nezarec's Hatred, you just want to shoot one of his crit spots. I think it's his shoulder. Actually, his chest. I can't remember which, but it's one of his crit spots you want to shoot. Once you shoot his crit spot, his wings are going to be going light or dark. If it's dark, you want to grab the light field of light, and you want to be inside a darkness aura, meaning you want to get darkness refuge. So to get darkness refuge, you actually can stop doing your running mechanic for a while, just temporarily. It's actually best recommended not to keep running, because you don't have a lot of time to save yourself from Nezarec's white mechanic. So what you need to do, if his wings are dark, it's going to be darkness refuge. If his wings are light, it's going to be light refuge. What you need to do is you need to grab, if it's light refuge, you need to grab the flux of darkness, and then you shoot any of the random field of light balls on the left. Or hang on. And if it's field of light, if it's darkness refuge, you're going to grab a field of light on the left, and you're going to be going to the dark side and shooting a darkness seed to get the darkness refuge. This will actually protect yourself from Nezarec's white mechanic, just so you guys know. So as you can see, darkness, light side are going to be the same exact thing. See, as you can see, we're going to get our darkness buff, darkness refuge, and this will actually protect us from Nezarec's white mechanic. As you can see, it's about to explode, because you can see on the back of his wings, and once he flies in the air, he wipes the encounter. He wipes the entire encounter, but we are safe because we got the darkness refuge, and you guys are continue to move on to your running part. As you can see, I only have like 2 more bubbles to shoot, so I'm going to come over here. I'm going to shoot this one right here, and then it's going to link to the final one. And once we all link to both sides, that'll actually start damage. Now, I'm going to show you guys on where you guys should definitely do damage at. I don't think it necessarily matters, I'll be honest. You can do damage anywhere, but you always... Actually, no, it doesn't matter, because you always want to do damage on where Nezarec is at. So, once this is completed, you will start damage. So I'm going to shoot the last little ball. It's going to start damage, and we are good to go. And everyone's going to move to the correct position where Nezarec is going to be. We're going to be on this flower area right here. Nezarec's going to get hit by a bolt of either light or dark side, or just a random bolt of darkness energy, and this is where the damage will start. You have about, I'm going to say, 30 seconds to do as much damage as you can to Nezarec before he slams his hammer on the ground the 3rd time, which will end his damage phase. Now, you can easily complete this in one phase if you have one really good loadout with weapons, and this boss is very similar to the Rolk encounter, because he just looks like just a fatter Rolk, which it's pretty cool, because you got like that giant hammer. We never had a Tormentor with a hammer. Well, we have the Tormentors that use scythes, but this one uses a hammer. But yeah, so once he's completed with his damage phase, or once you get him to final stand, he's going to do his final white mechanic, where you have to just keep shooting him until his wings glow, and if you don't get him, then he will kill you. So you just want to be very careful on that. And we got very unlucky on this round, because we got him to literally a pinch of health left, and that's where he teleported away, which was very upsetting. So we had to do an extra run of damage to actually get him down to that last sliver of health. But overall, it's just rinse and repeat. This is just like the first and second encounter combined. Make sure you get into a darkness refuge spot. See, I just died there because I didn't have, or actually it was overwhelming light. So if it's overwhelming light, you need to get light refuge. If it's the other one, it's darkness refuge, you need to get the dark buff. Overall, this encounter is very, very easy. Bungie certainly did a really good job in this raid. Also, if you guys haven't seen the tree of silver wings has actually sprouted, which I'm not really sure what that means in like lore wise, but if you guys do know, feel free to comment down below. And if you guys ever want help with this raid, just remember I am a raid sherpa, and overall this raid is also a pretty easy raid, especially for contest mode. I was able to beat contest mode, and I'm actually pretty happy because that is my first ever raid run on contest. Since we got, well, on Vault of Glass Destiny 2, I got to Gatekeeper, but that's not really close because Atheon is like going to probably be the hardest. But once you get to the final damage phase, you're just going to do as much damage as you can. Make sure to stay still so you keep bumping up more damage. You should definitely shoot his chest so you can deal more damage to him. But you can also run, actually no, I don't even think his chest is exposed, so just damage him. No, it is. But yeah, you can just shoot his chest, and yeah, just keep shooting him. And you get to his final stand, and if you don't kill him by his final stand, it'll wipe the ink. If you don't kill him by the final stand, his wings will glow, and it'll be a wipe. So, yeah, that's how you guys beat Nezarec, the final god of pain. And there's not too much else to say. It's just running, killing ads, watching Nezarec from the Nezarec's hatred, and then making sure you call out his wings dark or light to get darkness refuge or light refuge. You can honestly play it safe. Just make sure to play it safe. Play it safe if you're going to do this, because then it's just going to make the encounter so much easier. Don't rush this encounter, because remember, you don't have too much time to watch Nezarec's white mechanic. So yeah, this is how you guys beat Nezarec, the final god of pain, guys. I hope you guys do enjoy this video, and congratulations, you guys have completed the Root of Nightmares raid guide. If you guys found this video helpful, feel free to comment down below what your favorite encounter was. Discord it will be in the link description below. Make sure to subscribe as well. Social media is in the description below. And as always, my name is JVIT, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, everyone. Bye.